Mark Rogers TV getting you set for National Signing Day, and we take a stop with the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, who disappointed, obviously, in 2016 with a record of 4-8 after a preseason top 10 ranking. We bring in Kevin Sinclair from Slap the Sign on the fan-sided network for Notre Dame Athletics. Kevin, appreciate you coming on. So as we get down to it, we're just a little over a week away. Your thoughts about the Notre Dame recruiting class and really looking down that list of guys that are firmly entrenched right now with their commits.
Yeah, Notre Dame's sitting pretty decent right now, a little bit lower than they have in the last few years overall as a recruiting class. Given that they went 4-8 last season, they're doing quite well. Starting with Brock Wright, the number one tight end in the country. He's an early enrollee, 6'5", 245. He was an Under Armour All-American out of Texas. Deion Sanders saw him at the camp, and he tweeted out that he will be playing on Sundays one day. Next to him, we've also got the number 3 tight end in the class, Kmet out of Illinois. He's an Army All-American. He is 6'5", 252 pounds. There was questions about his blocking ability when he went into the Army All-American camp, but he really got after it, and his rankings boosted. We've also got Robert Hainsey of IMG Academy. He's an offensive lineman. He played at 275 this year, but he clocked in at 295 at the Under Armour All-American camp. He's the number 79 overall recruit out of 247. He is also an early enrollee, so he's on campus right now in the strength and conditioning program. He played left tackle at IMG and practiced against 5-star defensive ends Robert Beal and Josh Kando. Although he was a really good left tackle at IMG, which was the number 1 prep school in the country, he projects as a guard as he has really good pulling skills. Also, we've got Josh Lugg, offensive tackle out of Pennsylvania, 6'7", 300 pounds. He was an Army All-American. Just this week, he got a ratings bump up to number 84, jumped about 150 spots on 247. He's a prototypical left tackle. He has a large frame, has a huge ceiling, and he may grow. The crown jewel of the class, in my opinion, is Darnell, Ewell, defensive tackle out of Virginia. And you have a look at this kid. He looks like an NFL defensive tackle, 6 pounds. Chiseled physique, extremely powerful. Bench presses over 400 pounds. He really hated the recruiting process. He didn't like getting involved in that very much. He came to Notre Dame, and he really liked the academic side of that, and he committed right away and shut down his recruitment. He doesn't go on Twitter. He doesn't talk to the media very much. I think he'll do his talking on the field. I look for him to definitely get playing time as a freshman. Notre Dame has some depth issues there, and I think Darnell will help out with that. Some intriguing players from the class is Isaiah Robertson. He was a 2A player out of Illinois, 4-star recruit. He's projected to play free safety at Notre Dame, 6'3", 195. Definite ball hawk, has really good ball skills, jumping ability, great tackler, and a great kid. He's also early enrolled at Notre Dame. He's there practicing right now. We've also got Drew White. He's a 3-star commit, but if you watch his film, you'll probably wonder why. He's out of St. Thomas Aquinas, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, one of the premier programs in the country. 6'1", 220 pounds. So he's definitely going to need to hit the strength and conditioning program pretty hard to bring his size up. He has tremendous tackling ability. He was all-state at Class 7A, which is the highest tier of high school football in Florida. As well, he's the captain of the program, the defense. Also, we've got CJ Holmes of Cheshire Academy, running back, out of Connecticut. He's at Notre Dame right now as an early enrollee. He was in Alabama. He got offers from Alabama, Tennessee, UCLA. A great receiver. He attended the Irish Invasion camp in the spring at Notre Dame, and he made catch after catch after catch. To run down the rest of the class, they've got quarterback Avery Davis out of Texas. He's also an Under Armour All-American, 5'11", 190, which kept him from getting offers from a lot of the other bigger schools. He's a definite gamer. He makes big plays with his legs, and he's a very good student, and Notre Dame really likes him. I've also got Michael Young. He's the lone receiver commit right now. He's out of Louisiana, and he's a slot receiver. He's 5'11", 180. If you check out his film, he really can hit. He's a tough kid. He's gritty, and he's just what Notre Dame needs. Also, offensive line, which is, I would like to say, Notre Dame got another huge haul at offensive line this year. Aaron Banks is a top 150 Rivals commit. Recruit, that gives them 3 top 150 Rivals offensive lineman commits, which is the only team in the country that did that this year. Aaron Banks is 6'7", 315 pounds. He was 345. Harry Heastan, offensive line coach, asked him to drop the weight, and he did. Shows really good work ethic from him. He projects to play guard at Notre Dame. Comes from El Cerrito, California. Enrollee as well, so he's on campus right now, and we'll get a jump on things. Also on offensive line, we've got Dillan Gibbons, who definitely may be a diamond in the rough. He's out of Florida. He plays for former NFL player Mike Alstott at his high school. He's 6'5", 315 pounds. He's a definite bully. He's very gritty, plays past the whistle, I'd say. Tough kid, great student. He was the first commit in this class, so he's been committed to Notre Dame for a long time. Also, we've got defensive end Jonathan McCollister out of Orlando, Florida. He's 6'4", 255 pounds. He's one of those raw types. He's probably going to redshirt this year. They really like his traits and his skill set. Really strong hands, long arms. He looks disruptive. Plays tight end at high school as well, so he shows that athleticism. We've got David Adams, linebacker out of Pittsburgh. He played with some injury issues this year, which caused his play to drop and his ranking to drop some. Previous to his injury, though, he was ranked as the number 2 middle linebacker in the country. Look for him to get back, into shape, get his health right, and he may crack the roster this year in the 2 deep, as they don't have a lot behind Niles Morgan. Also, his teammate, defensive tackle Kurt Hinish, he's a commit as well. He's 6'3", 280 pounds. He's a 3-star commit, but he was the MVP defensive lineman at a Rivals camp in the Northeast this year. Huge motor. They really like him, and he committed a long time ago. He's one of those guys that helps out recruiting. He's on Twitter a lot, trying to push recruits to flip to Notre Dame or commit to Notre Dame. This weekend, they had a 5 visits. They had Russ Yeast, who they just offered out of Indiana. He was an Under Armour All-American. The thing with him is he plays corner and wide receiver, which are both needs for Notre Dame. He played running back at his high school this year, rushed for over 1,500 yards. The defense shut down the run game in the final game of the season this year. They put him out at receiver, and he received for 202 yards and won the game for him. So he's that type of talent. Notre Dame's trying really hard to flip him, but there's really late in the game, and he's a Louisville commit at the moment. Evan Fields right now is an Arizona lean, but he visited Notre Dame on the weekend, 6'2" safety. They're really excited about him. They'd have definite need of safety, and they've had depth issues there for a few years. Jordan Genmark Heath. Now, this is the recruit that I'm really hoping Notre Dame can flip, and he enjoyed his visit very much. He's an interesting story. He was born in Sweden, played football there, and then his family immigrated to San Diego, where he won a state championship this year. He's a safety, 6'2", 205. This year in their 4-2-5 defense, they're going to need some of those safety linebacker hybrid types to play rover, and he projects there very well. really high academic kid. Like I said, he really enjoyed his visit. He's a Cal Kmet at the moment. They lost their head coach right now, and they have a bit of a flux there with their coaching staff. So Notre Dame's hoping to capitalize on that. Trey Norwood, who was a Louisville Kmet last week, Notre Dame coaching staff, Todd Light and Brian Kelly dropped in on him. He was so impressed that within a few hours after the visit, he decommitted from Louisville and planned to visit to Notre Dame, which he attended this weekend. I would look for him to commit to Notre Dame very soon. He has an official visit for next weekend set up at Oklahoma, but look for him to maybe cancel that visit and commit to Notre Dame. He's a cornerback. He's quite a small guy. He's 5'11", 168. He's going to need the red shirt. He's going to need the strength and conditioning program, but he's a dynamic playmaker. He's gotten offers from, like I said, Oklahoma and Tennessee lately, of course. Another player who visited this weekend was Kofi Wardlow. He's out of Washington, D.C. He's 6'4", 230 pounds, so he's got some size to work with. He's a raw kid. He's going to need some coaching. He'll need to, get his weight up. But he's an intriguing player. He really likes Notre Dame in the academics, so look for him to possibly commit to Notre Dame. He, like I said, he visited this weekend. Also, we've got Oliver Martin. He's a big name. He's been to Notre Dame, I believe, 3 times now. He was at the Echoes, which was their year-end banquet. They just paid him an in-home visit. He's an Army All-American wide receiver. He is from Iowa, and he is considering Iowa, Notre Dame, and Michigan State at the moment, but he's been getting offers from Florida, Ohio State, and Auburn lately. He's been hearing from them a lot. He keeps everything close to the chest, so it's really hard to say, but Notre Dame feels good in this one. And they don't have a true wide receiver commit in this class yet. They just have Michael Young, who plays in the slot. Also, we've got Mac Hippenhammer, wide receiver out of Indiana. He's from Fort Wayne, where Jalen Smith was from. And right now, he's a Penn State commit. Notre Dame's been after him very hard. They were really late in the game with him. They just offered him this week. He has a Penn State visit coming up this weekend. Notre Dame's working on him really hard. Notre Dame is known as his dream school, so we'll see what happens there. Also, we've got Jalen Harris out of Arizona. Notre Dame has offered him. He's an Arizona commit. Both his parents both went to Arizona. He's going to be visiting this weekend. Notre Dame needs defensive ends. He's a good one. He's only 210 pounds right now, so he's going to need a lot of work in the weight room, but they really like him. He likes Notre Dame. They visited him in home this week. Also, we've got Jafar Armstrong. He's a wide receiver out of Missouri. He's a Missouri commit. They're trying to flip him right now. They're trying to get him on campus, and he's trying to plan a visit for this weekend, so we'll see how that goes. Also, we've got Connor Weddington. He's a top 247 athlete out of Washington. He'll be visiting Notre Dame this weekend. He's also an All-American. We're trying to get him on campus. He's also interested. So that wraps up what Notre Dame's looking at right now for to wrap up this class. They've got 6 scholarships left. They will probably be adding 1 fifth-year senior. So right now, as a 4-8 team, they're sitting with a pretty good class. They've got a new coaching staff, new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator. They're installing new systems. So they're shifting their focus and their recruiting right now. So that's basically what I have for Notre Dame. Go Irish.